Have you ever had the feeling that something ancient stirs within you? Something older than your name, deeper than your thoughts? Something vast and watching, waiting? There is a reason for that. Long before the first cities were carved from stone, before language carried truth across tongues, there were teachings whispered in sacred groves, etched into temple walls, hidden in parables and myth. These were not mere ideas. There were keys, 5 of them. Keys that unlocked the silent door to the realm within. And if you listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul, you might feel the gentle click of recognition as each key turns inside you. This video isn't about belief systems. It's not about religion or dogma. It is about direct knowledge, the kind encoded in the breath of the yogi, the silence of the monk, the dreams of the shaman. It's about the spiritual architecture that lies behind all wisdom traditions, the hidden structure behind transformation itself. We are going to explore 5 ancient secret spiritual keys that have been used across centuries and civilizations to awaken the dormant inner power that lies coiled within each of us, like a dragon sleeping in the bones of the mountain. Each of these keys is more than a concept. They are living forces. And when applied correctly, they do not just inform you, they transform you. In this journey, we will explore the origins of these spiritual principles, the mystics and civilizations who carried them, and the modern applications that can spark your own awakening. We will move beyond vague affirmations and into precision, where ancient knowledge meets conscious action. So if you've ever felt there is more to this life, more to you, than what you've been told, then trust that feeling. You didn't arrive here by accident. You're standing before the threshold, and the first key is waiting. In the sacred temples of Kemet, what we now call ancient Egypt, there was a saying inscribed in the inner sanctums, meant only for initiates. Man, know thyself, and you shall know the gods. This wasn't metaphor. It was a directive, a riddle containing a map. You see, throughout history, true spiritual knowledge was never scattered randomly. It was guarded, protected, encoded in layers of myth, ritual, and symbol so that only those with eyes to see could recognize it. From the emerald tablets of Thoth to the Upanishads of India, from the Taoist scrolls of the mystic hermits to the esoteric teachings of the Gnostic schools, there emerges a startling truth. There is a universal thread, a sacred pattern. Across time and geography, the mystics, sages, and spiritual scientists all spoke of an inner power. They called it different names: Shakti, Chi, Ka, Ruik, Spiritus, but they pointed to the same essence, an energetic intelligence residing within the human being, veiled by illusion, distraction, and forgetfulness. This is no coincidence. In the Hermetic tradition, it is taught that the universe is mental in nature, that all creation arises from consciousness itself. The Kybalion, a text whispered through the ages, outlines 7 principles that govern reality. These principles aren't commandments. They are observations of how the universe actually functions. Much like gravity, whether you know them or not, they operate on you. Among them is the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. Here lies the first hint. The outer world is not separate from your inner reality. Your inner state creates your experience. And the true spiritual seeker is not merely one who worships the divine, but one who becomes it through transformation. In the East, this was echoed in the yogic systems. The chakras were not just energy centers, they were spiritual technologies. Each level representing not only a different psycho-emotional pattern, but a gate to higher consciousness. The Kundalini serpent, coiled at the base of the spine, symbolized not just energy, but potential, the hidden divine awaiting activation. In the Taoist canon, the alchemists spoke of the golden elixir, created through breath, intention, and stillness. This wasn't physical gold. It was the distillation of inner essence life force refined until it shines like the sun inside the heart. Even the teachings of the Christ, when viewed through a Gnostic or mystical lens, speak of this hidden spark. The kingdom of heaven is within you, he said, not somewhere else. Within, and to enter it, one must be reborn not biologically, but spiritually, transformed from the mundane to the divine. All of these teachings, whether cloaked in ritual, wrapped in poetry, or hidden in silence, point to the same truth, that the human being is not a passive creature at the mercy of external forces. We are alchemical instruments, portals, bridges between the seen and unseen. But we have forgotten how to activate what is already within us. And that is why these 5 spiritual keys matter, because they are not new. They are ancient, older than written language, and yet urgently relevant. They are the distilled wisdom of civilizations who knew how to live in alignment with the soul, the cosmos, and the sacred rhythm that animates all things. And now, it is time to remember. Key 1. The law of inner resonance. What you are is what you call forth. Imagine you are a tuning fork, quietly vibrating in the symphony of the universe. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you hold creates a frequency, a vibration that silently emanates from you, like invisible music. Now imagine the universe as a great hall of mirrors. Whatever note you send out, it reflects back to you in form, event, relationship. This is not metaphor. This is resonance, the ancient principle that what is within you shapes what appears before you. This first key teaches us that inner power does not come from control over the external. It comes from mastering your internal frequency. In the esoteric teachings of the mystery schools, initiates were taught that reality is vibrational. The ancient Egyptians called this Heka, the power of the spoken word, not because of the sound itself, but because the consciousness behind the word shaped reality. The yogis of India taught mantra not as ritual repetition, but as a sacred technology that aligns your inner vibration with higher consciousness. In modern terms, your subconscious beliefs act as spiritual magnets. If you believe deeply that you are unworthy, the world reflects that belief back, not to punish you, but to reveal you to yourself. This key, then, is a call to radical self-awareness, to tune your inner state like a musician tunes a harp. When your inner world resonates with clarity, love, and intention, reality responds in kind. Key 2. The path of shadow integration. The light is hidden in the dark. Most people seek the light, but few understand that light, in its purest form, is born from the dark. The second key is perhaps the most misunderstood and the most feared. It teaches that your inner power is bound, not in your achievements or purity, but in your shadow, the parts of you you've denied, suppressed, or cast away. In Jungian psychology, the shadow represents the unconscious self, the hidden motives, repressed desires, unresolved wounds. But the mystics have long known, within the shadow lies dormant energy. Repressed emotions are not dead, they are alive, and they carry tremendous force. The Gnostics spoke of the bride in the underworld, the soul's descent into darkness not as punishment, but as sacred passage. The alchemists of the Middle Ages symbolized this in the nigredo, the blackening phase, where the old self is dissolved before spiritual gold can emerge. Shadow integration is not about fixing yourself. It is about reclaiming the exiled parts of your being and transforming shame into wisdom, fear into courage, trauma into strength. To apply this key is to become a sacred archaeologist, digging through the ruins of the self not to destroy, but to resurrect. Every emotion you reject becomes a demon. Every emotion you embrace becomes an ally. And so, paradoxically, the shadow is the gate to light. Your spiritual power increases in direct proportion to your willingness to face yourself honestly, to sit with your anger, your grief, your envy, not to indulge them, but to listen. Because behind every wound is a message, and behind every message is a key. Key 3. The sacred breath. The spirit rides on the wind. If you want to connect with the invisible, start with the invisible that lives in you, the breath. The third key is perhaps the most practical and yet the most overlooked. Across cultures and millennia, the breath has been revered not just as a biological function, but as the bridge between body and spirit. In Sanskrit, it's prani. In Chinese, qi. In Hebrew, ruach. All these words mean both breath and spirit. Because the ancients understood, when you master your breath, you begin to master your state of being. Modern science confirms what yogis have practiced for centuries. Conscious breathwork alters the nervous system, calms the mind, and opens the heart. But there's a deeper layer. Your breath is a carrier wave for consciousness itself. It is the chariot upon which spirit rides. Mystics used breath to enter altered states, to commune with the divine, to cleanse the inner temple of the body. Even in Christian tradition, the Holy Spirit is said to descend as a wind, a breath of God. When you breathe with intention, you activate this ancient technology. Your awareness sharpens. Your emotions stabilize. Your intuition speaks louder, but there's something else. When you observe the breath without controlling it, you enter presence. You begin to experience life directly, without the filter of mind. And in that stillness, in that sacred pause between inhale and exhale, you begin to touch the eternal. The breath, then, is not just air. It is your first teacher, your lifelong companion. And when consciously used, it becomes a spiritual key that unlocks both stillness and power. Key 4, the mirror of reality. Life does not happen to you. It happens through you. Let's return to that ancient hall of mirrors. What if every experience, every person you encounter, is not separate from you, but a reflection of an aspect within you? This fourth key invites us to shatter the illusion of separation and step into one of the most radical truths in all spiritual traditions. You are the creator of your reality, not in some egoic, manifest what you want on a whim sort of way, but in the profound sense that your consciousness is a lens, and reality bends itself around the quality of that lens. This is not new. The Hermetic texts taught that the all is mind. The Buddhists say that the world is Maya illusion, not because it is fake, but because it is shaped by the delusions and perceptions of the mind. In the Kabbalistic tradition, the tree of life represents layers of consciousness, from the dense world of form to the infinite light of the divine. And the journey is inward, always inward. This key forces us to ask, what if life is showing me not what I deserve, but what I believe? What if the recurring patterns, the difficult relationships, the synchronicities, are all feedback loops designed to awaken me? Once you understand this, blame dissolves, victimhood fades. Not because injustice isn't real, but because your power no longer lies in the world's response, but in your own. You become an alchemist. Alchemists didn't just try to turn lead into gold. That was metaphor. The real goal was to transform the dense material of unconsciousness into the radiant clarity of divine awareness. This key demands presence. It asks you to study your life as though it were a dream. And every symbol in it, every annoyance, every joy, every chance meeting is a message from your deeper self, asking to be seen. And when you learn to read the mirror begins to change. Key 5, the power of sacred intention. Energy follows awareness, creation follows will. The final key may be the most potent of all. It is the principle of intention, not mere wishful thinking, but the focused wielding of consciousness. In every sacred tradition, from the rites of the Druids to the ceremonies of the First Nations, from tantric rituals to Sufi whirling, intention was the axis upon which transformation turned. Not the outer gesture, but the inner aim behind it. This key reveals a divine paradox. You are both the vessel and the sculptor, and your intention is the chisel. In the Vedic texts, the universe is said to arise from the will of Brahman pure consciousness choosing to dream. In the Gospel of John, In the beginning was the Word. But what is a word without intention? Empty sound. Intention is what gives energy its direction. When you live without conscious intent, your life becomes reactive. You drift. But when you cultivate sacred intention rooted in clarity, truth, and alignment, you become like a lighthouse, casting a beam through fog and storm. This doesn't mean forcing outcomes. It means aligning with the deeper current beneath your egoic wants, the soul's intention. When this happens, action becomes effortless. You're not pushing reality. You're partnering with it. Esoteric schools taught their initiates to create ritual not as superstition, but as containers for intention. The ritual is not the power. You are. The ritual is a mirror that reflects your commitment, your focus, your willingness to participate in the unfolding of creation. Try this. Set an intention before every important act, not just "I want success," but "May this act serve truth," or "Let this encounter awaken healing." Then watch. The field around you begins to organize, not magically, but lawfully. Because where your awareness goes, your energy flows. And what you consistently energize becomes. This key reminds us the universe is listening, not to your words, but to the frequency of your being. 5 keys, not just concepts, but ancient technologies. Together, they form a spiritual architecture. Inner resonance, shadow integration, sacred breath. The mirror of reality. Sacred intention, not 5 steps, not a checklist, but 5 flames, waiting to be rekindled. Now that we've explored the 5 spiritual keys, the question becomes, how do we use them? Knowledge alone does not transform. It is applied wisdom that becomes power. These ancient truths were never meant to gather dust in sacred texts. They were meant to be lived. Let us begin the process of integration. 1. Tuning your inner resonance. Start with awareness. For one day, become an inner witness. Observe the tone of your thoughts, the emotional flavor of your reactions, the stories you repeat in your mind. Are they in harmony with what you wish to experience? Or are they echoes of fear, doubt, or limitation? Technique. Create a resonance journal. 3 times a day, morning, midday, and night, write down your predominant thoughts and emotions. Then ask, what would I be feeling, thinking, and doing if I were aligned with my highest self? Begin to replace the old frequencies with intentional ones. Speak as if your words cast spells, because they do. 2. Embracing the shadow. The second key demands courage. Choose one recurring emotional trigger: anger, jealousy, shame. When it arises, pause. Do not flee. Instead, ask, what part of me is asking to be seen? Technique. Mirror work. Stand before a mirror, look into your own eyes, and say aloud, I see you. I honor the part of me that feels insert emotion. What do you need from me? This begins the process of shadow reintegration. Do not seek to fix it, just witness it. Light is born in the presence of compassionate attention. 3. Activating the breath. Your breath is the most accessible spiritual tool you have. It is the remote control for your nervous system, your emotions, and your awareness. Technique. Try the box breath. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Repeat for 4 minutes. This calms the mind and centers the energy. Do it before meditation, before difficult conversations, or simply to return to the now. And once a week, try this. Sit in silence and observe the breath without changing it. Let it move like wind through a forest. In that stillness, listen. Your soul may speak. 4. Reading the mirror of reality. Treat your life like a sacred text. Everything is a symbol. When challenges arise, ask, what is this teaching me about my current vibration, belief, or unhealed pattern? Don't analyze it to death. Feel into it. Life is not punishing you, it's sculpting you. Technique. At the end of each day, reflect on one event, pleasant or unpleasant, and ask, What in me attracted this? Don't look for blame. Look for the opportunity to refine your frequency. This simple shift turns chaos into curriculum. 5. Cultivating sacred intentions are not goals. They are energetic alignments. Technique. Each morning, before you touch your phone or speak to the world, place your hand on your heart and declare a soul-aligned intention. It can be simple. Today, I choose to be clear. Or, may my actions today serve something greater than myself. Before any major action, be it a meeting, a conversation, a creative project, state your intention aloud or silently. Watch how reality begins to cooperate. The universe does not respond to force. It responds to alignment. Bringing it together, these keys are not magic spells. They are tools of mastery. And mastery comes through practice. You will forget. You will fall asleep. That's okay. What matters is that you return. Each time you do, you strengthen the bridge between your human self and your divine nature. To make this easier, choose one key per week to focus on. Don't rush. Let it seep into your life. Let it change you. And most importantly, remember this. These aren't just practices. They are invitations to live as if your soul is real, as if your life has purpose, as if the ancient ones left these keys for you. Because they did. You are the temple, the gate, the flame. Now, turn the key. You came here for answers, but what you've received are keys. Not to a door outside of you, but to one long sealed within. The ancients did not leave behind blueprints for buildings. They left codes for awakening. Symbols, stories, and riddles designed to stir memory, not of something you've read, but of something you've always known. These 5 spiritual keys, resonance, shadow, breath, reflection, and intention, are not just pieces of wisdom. They are living forces. And when activated, they do not merely add to your knowledge. They transform your being. But you must walk the path. Inner power is not granted. It is remembered, earned, and embodied. And so, I ask you, will you continue to live as a fragment, waiting for permission to be whole? Or will you take up these keys, not as curiosities, but as sacred instruments, and unlock the deeper current of your life? Begin with one breath, one moment of truth, one bold step into the unknown, because once you turn that first key, the door does not close again. The power you seek is not out there. It has always been inside you, wrapped in silence, veiled by time, waiting for the day you would remember. That day is now. If this message resonated with you, let it settle into your bones. Reflect, journal, breathe, and when you're ready, live differently. And if you feel called to deepen this path, share this with someone who is ready to remember too. This is not the end. This is the beginning. If you found value in these ancient truths, subscribe to the channel. More esoteric wisdom, practical tools, and hidden teachings await. Your journey is just beginning. Don't walk it alone.